Hey, this is Jason with WPGraphQL, and I just want to show some things I'm learning about the new Github Projects UI. I'm super new to it, but I'm learning some, I think, cool things about it. So the way it works, these tabbed interfaces here, these are all called views. And so like we have this view that has a ton of issues. And these gray issues, these are called drafts. So they live in this project, but they're not associated with any repository yet. These green ones are issues that are associated with the repository. So I can like click into one of these and we'll see it's an issue on the WPGraphQL persistent queries repository. We can come from here and we can label it, assign it, put it in a project, put it in a milestone. So that's all stuff we could do in an issue before. But once it's in those things, we can see that data here. So we can see the labels that it has. We can see who's it assigned to, the milestone it is associated with. And then we can add our own custom fields as well, like complexity. So we could say, I don't know, like, let's just pretend this is a 13 and this is an 8, for example, or whatever. So what we can do now, we can click New View. And so this view, like, it starts over with not many columns up here. And it allows us to kind of configure how we want to see it. Do we want to see it in a table or a board? So a board is going to look like this. But we can choose like whether we want it to be columns based on status or iteration, or if I go back to the table view, I can group. And so this one's kind of fun. I can group, let's say, by complexity. So I can see all the cards that are ranked in 8 and all the cards that are ranked at 13, or I can group by milestones, so I can see which ones are part of the graphical persistent queries milestone. I can group by repository. I can group by iteration. So some really cool stuff. I can group by status, what's in progress versus no status, for example. Yeah, so this group feature I think is going to be pretty cool. I can group by assignee, so I have like who's it assigned to. So anyway, I'm going to delete this view, just showing what we got. So I have like this view in the project called assigned to, so we can see what is assigned to whom. So we'd be able to see, you know, this is assigned to Jason or Mark or whoever. And then I have this view that's milestones, so we can actually come in and see the milestones. So I started putting together all of the stories that I'm working on with this graphical UI integration in this milestone. So I created them as epics first. So I just created one big story, and what's really cool is I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. But we can add a new task. I'm just gonna say example issue, and if I update that comment, it'll be a checklist item. But if I'm in the issue, I can just click convert to issue, and it's gonna create an issue, and I can go to that issue and I can put it in a milestone like that. I can assign it to myself. I can give it a label like graphical, and this one's not an epic, but graphical, and there we go. And then I can go back to our project. I don't know if I'm gonna have to refresh this or not, but I bet I probably will, and we should have a test in here, I would hope, if I did that right. Example issue graphical milestone. Okay, so it's called example. Oh, I don't see it in there, so maybe it takes a second to refresh. Oh, I didn't put it in the project. That's why. Projects. That's why. Okay, so we got to do sprint planning. So it has to live in that project, and then I can put it in a status like in progress, for example. And if I come back here and look, let's see, example issue is here, and it's assigned to me, and it's in progress. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this issue real quick, and I'm going to close that issue, and I'm going to go to where was I going to go? Oh, I was going to go back to that epic that I came from. So I'm going to go back to this epic and just delete that checkbox just so I don't forget. But yeah, it's really cool. So we can use like these epic stories if we want to. I mean, this is one way we can do it to kind of plan. And then once it's in here, we can convert to issues. And then we can check them off as we go. So we can, you know, kind of use milestones and epic stories. Or once it's in the milestone, right? Once it's in the milestone, we might not, you know, need this epic issue anymore. So if I come into issues and I go to milestones, we can come in and say graphical UI persist queries, so we can see all of these issues, and then we can sort here. So we can determine like, okay, very first thing we want to do is this issue. So we can sort in here, and whatnot. So yeah, just some really cool stuff with these projects. How you can have your data in GitHub issues and pull requests, but then organize them however we want. So I think there's some good tools in here. Once we get used to it, I think it'll give us I don't know, some good ways of organizing this stuff. So I'm optimistic.